Akizuki is back for another round of random battles, and we are in a Tier 6, 7, and 8 battle on Crash Zone Alpha. We have two submarines, three destroyers, one cruiser, five battleships, and one aircraft carrier on each side. Okay, I have spawned right in the middle of things, right in front of Bravo Cap. That's not usually a good place to be. I don't have anything to really break line of sight, and that's where the enemy CV likes to send his planes early on a lot of times. Looking at where my team is starting to spread out, looks like they're all over the place. I see that my cruiser, the Amalfi, is headed off to Alpha Cap. The Gneisenau has cut in behind him. I'm looking down at my mini-map, and he's headed off toward Charlie. The Mackensen, Tier 6 German battleship, is headed off toward Charlie. And the Brandenburg, which is a premium Tier 8 battleship, is also headed off toward Charlie. So the other team does not have any radar. Neither do we. So everything is going to be direct spotting by DDs and submarines and the aircraft carrier. So I'm going to go on into Bravo. And then I can see that our Cachalot and Shinonome are headed into Alpha. The enemy's DD that's over on Alpha side, the Gade, looks like he's going nose into an island. He might be coming around my way. I have RPF on something that is over in this direction. We'll see what he does. My torps just loaded up. I'm going to try to get turned enough to maybe use them on the Scharnhorst if he decides he's going to push in here. Scharny is a good Tier 7 German battleship that I like to use in certain types of battles, but he does not have any kind of hydro or anything, so if he pushes in here, he's going to take a torp or two from me. Oh, the Gade is already saying, well, we lost this one. Nobody's lost any ships or done anything yet. Wonder what he's talking about. If he's gone nose into the island, then shame on him. Oh, our Monahan already got their Shinonome back over on Charlie Cap, so good job there. Now he's contending with a submarine that's somewhere back behind him. Okay, I smoked up thinking that I was going to be able to get shots here on this Scharnhorst. I didn't want to be spotted while I was shooting. I kind of expected he'd be coming in toward me, not running back around the other side there, but he blind fired into my smoke. Oh, knocked out his torps. HE will do that, especially the German ships. The Germans put their torpedoes right out on their decks with no armor to protect them on their battleships and their cruisers. So it happens to me a lot in brawls when I use my Palmer. I've lost her torps so often, and they get utterly destroyed a lot of times. I don't know if I destroyed them. I didn't really notice. It looked to me like it was just I damaged them, knocked them out temporarily. Okay, looks like Scharnhorst wants to come right down the side here. So I have torps ready for him. My smoke is leaving, so I'll try to send those torps and then run forward. He just sent torps back through this gap. I'm sure he thought that I was going to be coming around behind him. Okay, if he will just keep pushing around. Looks like he's turning away. I don't know if my torps are going to be able to catch up to him then. Okay, well, in that case, let's go up here and see if we can harass either the New Mexico or the KGV that is coming around this side. I think I might go after the New Mexico. Tier 6 USN battleship. Oh, our Amalfi just, I think, just rammed. Yeah, they rammed the Scharnhorst. Okay, I don't know if there was any value in doing that. There's their submarine. Okay, I'm on his side, so he can ping me if he wants to, but I'm not going to make it easy for him. Well, there's the gauge, so I guess he decided to go ahead and get in the fight after all. Alright, that sub, the cachalot, is trying to get his torps to me. Alright. Dodge those. And Gade was able to beat our Shinonome. Shinonome got him too, though. Alright, well, good for him. You're going to go down. It's nice if you can trade. Alright, so I should be pretty close to being on top of that cachalot. Unless he scooted forward. Nope. Nothing hitting. Alright. Get some torps out to New Mexico. I have 10k torps. Oh, I am spotted. Where is he? There he is. Okay, well. Hurry up, guns. There we go. Now I'm on the side. He is not going to be able to send torps at me. He can ping me if he wants to, but it won't do him any good. Pings don't hurt. The trickiest thing is I don't want to ram him, because if I run into him, it'll damage me too. Alright, my depth charge is going right over the top of him. There we go. Alright, he's down. And a torp hit the New Mexico. Alright. Okay. I've got a minute and a half before I get any smoke. So I'm just going to have to open water gunboat here. Not sure what New Mexico is shooting at. Looks like he's firing backward toward our submarine. Okay, I'm aiming up there just at the top of his deck. Knocking off about 1,000 or so every time I hit him. There, and he's out. Okay. That enemy Gade is complaining, saying mean things about his submarine, about the New Mexico. Well, from the looks of things, he wasn't a lot of help to his team either. Okay, now we have 6 ships that we have lost. The other team has lost 6 ships. We are ahead though by about 240 points. However, their KGV, the King George, has invaded my cap, my Bravo cap that I took earlier. Now he's just kind of sitting there, so again I am going to open water gunboat. Try to reset that cap. Every time I hit him with a shell, it starts the counter over, so he can't take it. He's backing up. His guns are pointing away from me right now. Looks like he's trying to get some around toward me. My smoke will be in right now. Okay. I got a fire on him. There. Okay. Now I can sit in my smoke a little bit here. Got another fire, so he's got 2 on it right now. I bet you he repairs those. He's blind firing toward my smoke right now. Missed. Okay. I have torps, but I don't think I can get turned enough to use them, so I'm just going to keep on shooting here. Getting it. Almost 1,500 toward 1,800 every time I hit him. Boy, he's trying to repair. If King George gets the typical heal that the English battleships get, he's going to be able to repair that damage pretty easily. Got to put him down now. With his, oh, now he's gone invisible. He's gone dark. Oh, there he is again. He's almost out of my range. Boy, so close. Okay, I'm going to run on out here and keep on chasing him, try to help out. He's about the only thing out here that can be hitting me. We're down to 4 ships each side. Our Gneisenau is going to go down though. Oh good. Okay, Brandenburg got KGV. That takes Brandenburg up to 4 kills. Good for him. All right, now Bravo Cap is in our hands. I just informed both teams that I got a pizza party. Cracked that 100,000. Okay. Turpitz is going to go down. There he is. Oh, and Brandy got a Kraken Unleashed. Good job. Okay, my RPF is somewhere up there on that CV, and I told both teams, give comps to the Brandenburg for that Kraken. They are hard to get. He was the difference maker in the battle. Okay, they still have the sub and they have the aircraft carrier. We have a very low health Gneisenau, but Brandenburg is in pretty good shape. I'm in very good shape, and our Ryuju is in good shape, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. This game is now, we're over 900 points, so we are going to win in about 30 seconds. Okay. Don't know if I'll see the CV around here or not. Even if I do, I doubt my shells will have time to get to him. Nope, Brandy got that submarine. Good job. And now let's take a look at those after-battle stats. I just barely cracked that 100,000 damage mark, but did that with 243 shells on target, with 194 of them penetrating and causing damage. 49 did not cause damage, so that's pretty good ratio there. Got one torpedo into that New Mexico, and that caused flooding. Plus, I had 5 direct hits with depth charges on that submarine, and that caused another flooding and possibly a fire. Killed 2, the New Mexico and the submarine, and had 11 defended ribbons. Ended up second on the leaderboard, right behind Brandenburg, who had a Kraken +1. Good job there. Give him his comp. All right, so on top of that, he also had a close quarters expert. I wonder if that's, well, he got 4 close quarters experts. Oh my gosh. 4 in the same game. That is quite a game. Very exciting. All right, so put almost 30,000 damage on the New Mexico between the torpedo and the fires, and then killed the cachalot. He didn't have, I don't think, any damage on him before I got hold of him. 48, almost 49,000 on King George V. So KGV, I almost had him. He just barely got away from me. Somebody else did him in. Then almost 10,000 on that Scharnhorst. If he had just kept on coming, I would have got him with the torps and would have had 3 kills, maybe 4. It was pretty close there. So I fired a total of 632 shells and landed 243 of them. So I'm well under 50% on that. I'd like to be better, but I was firing a lot of shells at range, and Akizuki shells are a little bit on the floaty side, so I can deal with that. The ones that landed did damage. I sustained only about 360,000 in potential damage. I don't remember actually having a whole lot fired at me, but apparently there was enough that I picked up some potential damage from the missed shots and any torpedoes that missed me. I spotted 5 torpedoes. Can't quite remember doing that either, so probably from the submarine. And those would be the ones that created some of the potential damage. All right, so I brought home about 270,000 in credits. Picked up another 3,400 in XP, 8,451 free XP. That's useful XP that I can use to help my captains or to help me get to the point where I can use the Research Bureau to pick up another Research Bureau ship. And then my commander picked up another 10,000 commander XP, and then 515 elite commander XP that can be used for any other captains too. All right, so here's our Akizuki in port. She's a nice little boat there. So she runs with 2 turrets forward, 2 turrets aft, and torpedo launcher in the middle, amidships. Each of her turrets has 2 barrels, so she's able to put 8 shells downrange, and she does it in 3 seconds for her reload. So that's a nice fast reload. That is the hallmark of the Japanese gunboats. And so we are in the Taranto port in Italy, I believe. Interesting little fort over there, and I think somewhere off in the distance, yeah, you can see some three-masted ships way off in the distance there. All right, so I have level 17 commander right now. I think that's the equivalent of an admiral. Kaigun Taisho. So this is Yoshimitsu Yoshida. I have been working on him with Akizuki for a while now, and got him up to 17 points. So far, I've put preventative maintenance on here to try to keep my engines and steering gears in the fight, although they do seem to get knocked out a lot regardless of that. And then I have Last Stand, which when they do get knocked out, I'm still able to retain a little bit of mobility, so I'm not completely dead in the fight. I run Survivability Expert to give me a little bit of extra HP uh, for my ship. So instead of having my standard amount of HP, which is I think around 14,500 or 15,000, I'm up to 23,200. And we'll check and see how much I normally would have had if I didn't have that here when we get to the equipment build out. I also run Superintendent, so that gives me extra smoke, extra torpedo reload booster, and extra speed boost. And I usually use all of my smoke and oftentimes use my torpedo reload booster in every fight. When I get another 3 points on my captain, I will probably add Adrenaline Rush. I tested out this IFHE, the Inertia Fuse HE, in public tests the other day, and it took me a lot more shells in order to put a ship down than if I started fire. So I'm probably going to stick with that. The Adrenaline Rush, when I do take some damage, gives me faster firing guns and faster loading torpedoes, and I think I'd rather have that. This is a recommended skill, but I just don't feel comfortable with it. And if I don't feel comfortable with it, I don't want to use it on a ship that I'm going to use a lot. I also run Concealment Expert, and that cuts down my detectability a little bit. Gets me down to 6.1, so I can still be spotted by things like the Benson and Kidd or Kagero, and of course any of the submarines, but uh, by the time they spot me, I'm close enough that a lot of times I can pick them up too and force them into their smoke. So if I can do that, then I can get torps on them, rush them, or escape myself. And then I also run radio location, RPF. And that is not a generally recommended skill, but I really find it's useful, especially when I have a submarine that's surfacing nearby that I can spot that, or when it goes down deep, then I know that. And a lot of times it helps me find another DD that's trying to sneak up on me and such. So I find that a very, very helpful skill, even though a lot of people don't recommend it. All right, and then for my equipment build out, I am running main armaments mod 1 that keeps my guns in the fight, my torpedoes in the fight. I could switch this over and probably run, well, I don't see anything on there that would be very valuable. Secondaries aren't very useful on a DD, and I always run my det flags, as we call it, detonation flags. This one here, the Juliet Charlie. So I'm not going to detonate anyway, so I don't find that one very useful. Then I run Damage Control Systems Mod 1 to help uh, put out fires a little more quickly, and well, it keeps me from catching fire so easily, and cuts down on the risk of flooding if I take a torp. This is where I could probably use the engine room protection, since my steering gears and engine seems to get knocked out quite a bit, but I have the captain skill that helps counter that one. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another, which one's going to be most helpful in my case. And then aiming systems mod 1 uh, reduces my shell dispersion of my main guns. So when I'm firing, I get a little tighter grouping and more shells hit the target that I'm aiming at. I use propulsion mod 1. That gets my engines up to speed a little quicker and lets me sprint forward or backward as I need to. Akizuki is not a very quick ship, but anything will help. The steering gears might help a little bit, but she doesn't turn very well either. For a DD, she's rather sluggish, but her ability to dodge is more due to my positioning than whatever my engines and steering gears could do. And then I do run Concealment System Mod 1, which helps bring down my concealment by quite it's 10%. So that brings me down quite a bit from where I would be. All right, so Akizuki, when you get her off the shelf, comes with 18.7 hit points. When you put hull B on her, that takes her up to 23.2. But then I think with that captain skill, that's what raises that up 23.2. If I didn't have that captain skill on her, I think I would be somewhere around 2,000 or 20,000. So that captain skill buffs it up enough that it's kept me in the fight for quite a bit longer just by having that little bit of extra HP. I am running the Type 93 Mod 2 torps as compared to the Type 90s Mod 1. So I have a little slower reload time on this, but I get a lot more damage out of every torpedo. Both of them have the same range at 10K, but I really like having the faster torps that do more damage. And so this one's well worth the extra reload time. And so I get slightly under 2 minutes of reload time, but with that torp reload booster, I can send out 2 sets of torps pretty quickly. All right, so with that torp reload booster, it takes me 5 seconds to reload, and then it's getting about 2.5 minutes before I can use this one again, but I'll get another third set of torps going in that just about 2 minutes that I needed before anyway. So I can get 2 sets out, then a long wait for a third set, and then when this loads up, then I can get 2 more sets out into the water, and that oftentimes is enough to hold back a push from the enemy around my flank and stuff. So my engine boost gets me an additional 8% speed. It's not a lot, but that's enough to help Akizuki get from one place to another quickly. And it's good for 2 minutes of use. Akizuki smoke is not as good as what I usually get out of the USN destroyers, but I'm spreading the smoke out for 20 seconds, and then I get about a minute and a half of smoke to sit in, and then I can fire from smoke, and sometimes that's enough to break detection from other ships that were spotting me and shooting at me, and that's really what I use it for. I'll blind fire from it sometimes, but a lot of times it's so that I can break detection and get out of there, because Akizuki, even though I have that 23,000 hit points, she takes damage pretty quickly, and I don't have any way to heal any of it back. So when I'm down, I'm down for good. All right, well, that was a good battle in the Akizuki.